Hey guys, it's Cobra, and it is Wednesday, or is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday, my bad. It's Tuesday, and I got some pickups today. Now, originally I didn't really plan on doing a video. I got some great stuff, but I just didn't really feel like doing a video. But I might as well just go ahead and do one. Um, so I got some good stuff today, stuff I've been kind of wanting and searching online for, and excuse me, finally paid off. And I'm not going to go in order because I want to save the sort of the most odd, best thing for last. So let's start with something a little more simple. I was at a Goodwill the other day and I saw this case, this big case here, opened up, and from a distance I saw some cords coming out of it, and I thought, well, what the heck, might as well go over. So I went over there, and it was a Sega Genesis Model 2, and they were asking $20 for it. It came with all the hookups and three controllers, and I passed on it. I took it up to the front desk, see if they could go lower on it, and they couldn't. So I passed on it. Well, 2 days later, which is today, I went in there and I saw it again, and they were moving a bunch of stuff around, and I didn't. So I figured I might as well just break down and get it. So I got that, and that actually completes this, which is now a boxed Model 2 with an actual Model 2 in it. So I now have a boxed Model 1 and a Model 2. Next I want to get a boxed Model 3. I don't really like the Model 3, but for collecting purposes, having a boxed one would be nice. And so it came with 3 controllers. It came with a standard controller. It came with this one, which is called the Sega Mega Fire, I believe. Yeah, it's a turbo controller, 3-button. Then it came with this one, a really little 6-button controller with a turbo function as well. This controller is actually pretty good. I like them. Everything works fine. I've already tested it out. And I couldn't be more happy. So I was talking to Retro Gamer Sam the other day because I saw his video, and he said he had a spare NES for sale that I believe he said it needed a new 72-pin connector. I can't remember. I might be getting it confused with something else. But I was going to buy it. And the price, I didn't really want to spend a lot. And he did offer a good deal. But I don't know why I didn't want to do it. But I didn't. And turns out it was actually a good thing I didn't do it. Because I was talking to an Intellivision dude about it later. And he said that shipping from his place, from where he lives to where I live, would be outrageous. So actually it was a good thing I didn't buy it, because he wouldn't have made any money. So, I hope he sells it and gets some money on that. Anyways, so we went to this new pawn shop. My friend Drew and we went to this new pawn shop in town, and they had some Dreamcast stuff. I saw a Sega game, NBA Live, I think. Nothing really. So I had a Dreamcast game in my hand, and I said, hey, I don't see anything on the wall or anything. Do you guys have any, like, old Nintendo or Sega or anything like that? He goes, yeah, I think we have a Nintendo in the back. So I went and got the Nintendo, and he brought it out, and it was all dusty, and I don't want to say dirty necessarily, but it kind of was. And he said he couldn't get it to work. He had it going the other day, but when he went to hook it up today, or yesterday, it wouldn't work. And I assumed it was a 72-pin connector, went bad. So he got it out, and we went and tested it, and sure enough, that was the problem. He had a game in it, and it would not play. Tried everything, and it was the flashing screen. And I've bought an NES like that before, and I just knew it was a 72-pin. And it's not a hard fix or anything like that. And it came with a zapper, a controller, and all the hookups. And I said, okay, well, what do you want for it? He said, well, I'd probably take 20. And I didn't really want to pay that, but whatever. He said I could take 20, or I guess I could just break even and take 15. And I said, okay, I'll take it for 15. So I got that, which now completes this box. Now I have everything here. I need one more controller. I have one more controller, but I have it out on my other NES. So there's a real NES in here, with the hookups, one controller, that game, with the manual and the sleeve and extra zapper. So now I have everything in here is an extra of something that I have. So now all I need is a 72-pin connector, and I will Have three working NESs, but two classic ones, and my top loader, of course. Alright, so guys, oh, by the way, the game that was in it was Dr. Mario, and he threw that in. Not important, but, the last thing is very interesting. It's actually the first place we went to after I shipped out a few packages, at the post office. We went to, this place by my house that sells games, go there all the time, but I hadn't been there in a while, so I thought, well, they might have gotten something new. Well, they kind of did, but I didn't see anything that really caught my eye. And that's when this lady walked in. And this lady walked in, and I saw she had a box in her hand. And when she sat it down, I just knew I immediately wanted it. And I was really hoping that if they bought it, they'd just sell it to me like right away for a good price. So before I get into the story, let me just show you what it is. That is, if I can get it. Okay. Here it is, guys. It's the Atari 800 XL home computer. I'm not gonna hold it up for long, but it is boxed. The box is ripped slightly, but I did tape it in the inside, so it is holding together fine. And I've always wanted an older computer, and I've seen people like Maximum RD and Crow, and other people talk about them, but I've never actually seen one. I've never had one before. So I thought, immediately I'll pick it up. So back to the story. The lady comes in, and she said, yeah, I was in the other day, and you guys said that you would buy this. And the lady that was working, sort of took a look at it, and she didn't really know. And I know the lady pretty well, because being in there. She asked me, she goes, do you know anything about this? And I said, no, actually. I've only heard of them. I've never actually seen one or looked it up or anything. And so she gets on a computer and she can't find one online. And then I sort of knew, okay, this might be rare and something that I'll probably want for sure. So I look it up on eBay and I found one that was in the box for like 250 bucks. And I didn't know if that was a fluke, it was a high price, if it was maybe brand new, I didn't know. So the lady is looking for a price on the computer and she can't find one. So she calls her husband, the manager and owner, about it, and he says he doesn't know what they're worth either. And she goes, so she goes back to the lady and she goes, I really don't know what to offer you here. And the lady goes, well, I'm just trying to get rid of it, make an offer. And she goes, well, I really can't. If you want to come back maybe next week or later on this week, I can look it up and do more research. And so I was sort of like there with them, and I said, you know what, if you're not going to buy it, I'll buy it right from you right here. And, the lady working said, yeah, that's fine, you can do that. And so I was like, okay, she goes, all right, well then shoot me an offer. And everybody hates making offers because you don't want to lowball them and you don't want to whatever. And she says, well, I'm just really trying to get rid of it. And that's sort of like music to my ears. When you hear that, you just know you can get a steal. And I was sort of looking at it and I was like, gee, I don't know, could you take like 10 bucks for it? She said, yeah, that's fine. Wow, okay, alright, that's fine, yeah, that's great, in fact. No games, but it does come complete with everything. I've tested it, it does power on. And would you believe that it takes the same AV cables as a Model 1 Genesis? Isn't that goofy? The stuff that it's compatible with. Atari and Sega seem to have a lot of compatible stuff. And the controller ports look like they're Atari 2600 controller ports, therefore making them the same as the Sega Genesis controller port. Excuse me. So I got that, guys. I don't have any games, but I have looked it up, and the games are pretty expensive, actually. I really don't want to buy too many of them. I'll probably just buy them bit by bit. I don't know how real, like, the graphics, I don't know how they are. Anything. I did send Crow a message, so if you are seeing this video and you haven't seen that message, I did send you one, and I asked him maybe, if he knew anything about it, and maybe if he wanted to make a video about it, that'd be pretty cool. But if not, that's fine too. That's it, guys. Those are my pickups. I only got one game today, but I scored pretty heavily with 3 systems. That doesn't happen often. So guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.